Well, hello there everyone, and welcome back to episode 2.1 of the Spigot coding series. In the last episode we went over how to create a really simple /heal command. So if I jump down some blocks real quick and lose some hearts, also maybe lose some hunger bars real quick, and I type /heal or /h, you can see that my hearts and my hunger bars are being completely refilled. In this episode we want to go over the arguments and actually add the functionality so you can heal other players. So what we want to do for this, we do not have to focus the main or the plugin YML class in this time, we just have to put our entire focus on the command heal class. So let's think of the functionality of our updated command now. We still want to achieve that if you just type /heal you can heal yourself. But we also now want the functionality, so if you type /heal and then another player, then we can heal another player. This just works since we don't have any argument check right now, so I can basically type anything here and it will still heal us. So first of all, what we want to do, we want to keep this functionality, but only if the argument size is 0. So what we can do for this is we can take this chunk of code right here and write a new if statement to check if the arguments.length equals to 0. Then we want to type all this and return a true. So this will still do the same thing if the argument length is 0. And then else if the arguments.length equals to 1. We want to do something else. Since we don't want anything else to happen with other argument lengths, we can send a small message to the player. So otherwise, if the argument length is not 0, neither 1, we just tell the player p.send message. We should maybe keep the player right here, so we only declare the sender once. This is pretty simple explained. If we would keep this in every single if statement, you can see this is just unnecessary coding, and us coders, us developers, we are lazy, so we just do this right here to have one uniform declared player. And also this looks nicer. And then otherwise we just send the player a message telling him command usage and then /heal and in brackets player. So we can also do this differently. We can send him 2 messages. First of all, command usage /heal or /heal player. There's also a nicer and simpler way of writing this, but we're going to get back to this in another episode when we actually go over and link together multiple arguments into one message. So, now what should happen if the argument's length is 1? Well, our first argument should be a player. So, what we can do here is to get a player who is not, well, already basically a argument right here, we can type player target, so this will be our target player, equals to, and now we type bucket dot, and there's already get player. We can either type a string or a UUID. We're going to use a string, so a text, and this will be from our arguments the first argument. So you have to be really careful here. If you don't know too much Java, let's say you want to get the length, and this will always return the actual length. Like let's say if we have 4 arguments, this will return 4. But to get the first argument out of the list, we have to actually type 0. Since, well, Java actually starts counting at 0. So don't get confused with this. You have to be really careful of this. Because if you type 1 here as well, it will just print you out another big error, or it will already tell you right here that it will be out of bounds. So yeah, first of all, we don't know if that target is actually a player that we are getting here, since we can also just type heal, for example, no player, and since there's well, no player on the server called no player, this will return us null. So what we can do here, if the target equals to null, we basically do nothing after this, so everything below here won't be executed, and we send the player a message stating this player is not online. Well, you know what? Actually, let me scrap the idea from earlier where I said we're not going to do this, because when I think of it, it's actually pretty easy. So basically, if you want to link multiple texts together, you can't do this, since this will each time send a new row. What you can do here is the player, and now if you want to type in or print in the player name that we entered, we can go out of the quotation and we can type plus our first argument, and then if you want to type something after that, we just do plus again, and then is not online, for example. Or we can also type doesn't exist. Yeah, and then we can just tidy up this right here real quick. So instead of, you can do it like this. This is totally fine, but each send message is like a small packet that's gets sent to the player and from the server. You can easily simplify this by typing, well, we can do it two ways. We can either do \n to basically go down one line, so we can type this in one line itself. Or if you want to have a bit more visual clarity, you can do plus quotations \n and then plus again quotations /heal, and this would basically print out like this right now, command usage and then /heal. Well, of course, without a dot I can't just type /heal, otherwise it would do this. And then we go down one more line and type /heal player. So as you can see, this has way more visual clarity. If you want to make even more visual clarity, you can put these pluses down by one line each time you do \n. So this would further improve visual clarity, but since the message is pretty short, you can just keep it like this. I really like to do stuff like this though. Like when I code myself, I really like to do stuff like this, so it has like maximum visual clarity basically. But yeah, we're gonna keep it like this. Alright, now if the player is actually not null and it has found a player that we entered, we can do p. Well, first of all, let's do stuff to the target. I think that would be the smarter approach. So first of all, we can copy and paste this and just change the p to the target. So instead of healing ourselves, we're going to heal the target now. And also we have to get the target's max health. And then we send a message to target saying, so send message, you have been healed by, and then we want to actually get the name of ourselves, and then we type plus p dot get name. So for my example, if I would heal someone, this would say you have been healed by Stunter Let's Play. Now to actually give back some feedback to the player who used the command himself, we can also just type p.send message and then you have successfully healed, and then out of the quotations the target's name. You can also type your first argument here. This would also totally work totally fine, but let's say you type this but the player's name is this. We want to probably use the right capitalization. So instead of argument 0, we just type target.getName. Alright, after this is done, we can just export the plugin again, since we have nothing to do in our main or plugin.yml class. We could add to the description fully heals the player or a target player, and as a usage well, I don't think you can actually type multiple lines here. So you can just do /heal or /heal player, for example. But basically, rarely anyone ever uses /help and then, well, the help. Most of the times plugins actually include a /help command themselves, so you can just type that in there later on. So yeah, after exporting this and actually adding it to the server again, yes, I want to overwrite, we can /reload confirm. And now if I go ahead and take some damage again real quick, and we type /heal, you can see it still works, you have been healed. And now if I perform a real quick and nice jump cut, you can now see that I am here with my alt account. And now if I actually put both micro windows like this, and I damage myself real quick, then I go ahead and type /heal and then my second account. If you watch right here, you can see you have been healed by Standard Let's Play and you have successfully healed Standard Let's E. So yeah, this also works now. If I type a player name that is non-existent, you can see the player non-existent doesn't exist. But you also see that it tells us /heal and /heal player. This basically just gets executed because of the usage that you typed in your command. So basically what this return false does, it basically just returns you the command usage. So if I type heal right here, you can also see it just tells you the command usage. So that's why you better keep this out of there, or you just return true every time so the server doesn't think, hey, he entered a command wrong, let me help this dude. That is still the wrong upload path. So yeah, if I go ahead and reload again and type /heal something else, you can see this message does not pop up anymore. Now to actually make the text non-boring, we can also color this in real quick. So first of all, this command can only be used by a player. We can make this red by using paragraph C. You have been healed, I would do paragraph A for a nice light green. The player doesn't exist, I would make this in multiple colors, so I would have the base color as red and outline the player name as yellow or orange, so yellow is E, and then put this text back to red again. Then have these two as red, and the command usage I would do red. And now you need to keep in mind, each new line, the color gets changed, or gets reverted, so you have to type the color new each time. But what I like to do for the commands, I always want to do the base command blue, and then the arguments magenta, argument 2 purple, argument 3 red, etc. So basically just have different colors for everything to make it actually look nice as well. So with these two, well, not only two, but with this simple step, if I were to upload this to the server again, and I type reload confirm once more, and I now type /heal, you can see this is a nice green. If I type a missing player, you can see the player, whatever I just typed, doesn't exist. And if I heal someone else, oh, I just healed myself. You see, you have been healed by myself, and you have successfully healed myself. So yeah, also this works in the console. If I would type heal here, you can also see that this is red now instead of the, where is it, the white that it was before. So yeah, that was basically everything for episode 2.1 of the Spigot coding series. I hope you learned something today, and if you want to support me, my Patreon is linked in the description. So if you want to support me, you will also get some nice and small rewards out of this. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. The next episode will drop on Friday again, and there we are going over our first simple event listener. You can maybe come up with some ideas in the description of what you want to be to see in the next video. Let's say, I don't know, there are so many things. If I sneak, a sound gets played. Something simple like this. You guys can come up with some nice ideas, and the most liked command I will actually consider and code in Minecraft, and actually teach you how to do it yourself. So yeah, that is basically everything for today, and I hope to see you again on Friday. See ya, everyone.